PEMF, or pulsed electromagnetic fields, have been used for their therapeutic benefits for many decades. Now, the athletic performance, recovery, and injury maintenance that are characteristic of PEMF therapy have expanded beyond human use. Our breakthrough technology has been integrated into the EquiPulse, which now offers all the same healing benefits to our equine friends. It can be applied to horses from every spectrum of equine competition, including racing, dressage, hunting and jumping, and western riding. What's more, this same device can be used to treat both horse and rider. Every vet, owner, trainer, and rider should always be concerned about safety considerations when treatment is administered. As with all medical equipment, the following outlines some precautions to be taken into account when treating horses with the EquiPulse device. Firstly, location is important to consider, as horses are often treated outdoors, freestanding, or in cross ties. Due to the nature of the magnetic loops being applied to injured areas, less movement from the horse is advisable. Therefore, cross ties will prove to be the most efficient treatment location. This is especially relevant for first-time treatments. PEMF therapy lasts approximately 10 minutes per area treated. Larger areas, such as back and hindquarters, will require longer treatment, simply because the magnetic loop must cover a larger area than, say, the stifle. Therefore, you want the horse to be comfortable and cooperative. First-time exposure to an EquiPulse treatment will be a very new experience for many horses, and must be carefully introduced. Often, skeptical and finicky horses can be induced into a treatment by applying the magnetic loop while the device is actually powered off. Before viewing the next series of videos which address actual treatment of the horse, please be advised of the following. If the treatment provider is not a licensed veterinarian, then always confer with a vet on duty or one that is caring for the horse. This is for the safety of the horse and out of courtesy to the veterinarian profession. Be sure to ask the owner about the horse's condition and if it is medicated prior to treatment. And finally, never attempt to personally diagnose a horse's medical issue. EquiPulse use cautions. Do not use near credit cards, car keys with embedded chips, or jewelry with chains. This device will damage intelligent car keys and will demagnetize credit cards. Jewelry with chain links can cause sparks, which can melt the chain or burn your skin. Use caution with horses that have been totally inactive or are not getting frequent exercise. They can get sore muscles if overtreated in one sitting. Do not use near pacemakers or implanted electronic devices. EquiPulse use. Open the case and keep it open during treatment. Do not cover the air vents. Insert magnetic pulse delivery loop ends all the way into the connector sockets and rotate clockwise until the connectors click into place. Always do this before turning any power on. Plug the AC cord first into the machine, then into a 120 volt 60 Hz wall socket. Pulse intensity is controlled by the indicated knob on the device. Be sure to turn the intensity down fully by rotating the knob clockwise before pressing the timer button. Should the intensity be turned up when the timer button is pressed, in which case the pulses will be loud and powerful, the horse will be unnecessarily startled. Once the intensity is turned down, flip the power switch to the on position. Set the variable usage timer to the desired treatment cycle length. Note that it is perfectly alright to abort a cycle by powering the machine off, then powering back on. When treatment is finished, leave the main power on for 5 minutes to cool the machine before powering off. To remove the magnetic pulse delivery loop, slide the spring-loaded metal releases on the connectors back, rotate counterclockwise, and pull out of the socket. To control the pulse intensity, there are two options. 1. You can use the intensity knob. 2. You can move the pulse delivery loop closer to the surface of the horse's body, thus increasing intensity, or move it further away to decrease intensity. Keep in mind, maintaining contact between the loop and body surface is optimal. Treatment duration for each body part can vary based upon several factors. The duration of a single treatment should last approximately 6 to 9 minutes per affected area. This is often all that is necessary for smaller body parts, such as limb joints. However, you will find many horse body parts are too large to cover in a single treatment. For example, a horse's entire back can be divided into 4 or more areas, including right and left, upper and lower back sections. For best results, treat the same area of the horse's body on a regular basis to accelerate the healing process. Daily treatments are not unusual for performance horses. The areas most naturally sensitive to PEMF therapy are often the torso and rump. However, hips and back are often the problem areas in which most horses are stiff or sore and may have arthritic conditions. During the initial application, be careful with the magnetic pulse delivery loop. Decrease the pulse intensity to a light rapid pulse in order to determine the horse's sensitivity. If it is the first treatment, approach the horse very carefully. The pulses are deep and the horse will be completely unfamiliar with this powerful pulsing sensation. Slowly glide the delivery loop about 2 to 3 inches above the surface of the hindquarters, loins, and croup. This will provide a gauge of how sensitivity differs on various body parts. The level of reaction from the horse may be an indication of the severity of an afflicted area. Very slowly, move the delivery loop closer to the horse's body. You will notice stronger muscle contractions beneath the delivery loop as the gap is closed, the result of an intensifying delivery of PEMF. If the horse becomes startled, quickly pull the delivery loop away from the body part. Based upon the horse's reaction, intensity levels can be determined. Over time, the horse will habituate and become more comfortable with the stronger pulses, and you may attempt to increase intensity slowly throughout the treatment. Another trick for applying the delivery loop is to pat the horse on the area of treatment in order to simulate the pulse rhythm. The goal is to maintain contact between the delivery loop and the surface of the horse's body, even if the animal can only handle minimal intensity. Joints are not as sensitive as fleshier areas that may have more body mass, but should be approached with the same care and reduced intensity. When treating generally smaller areas, use the joint loop for a more concentrated pulse. Commence by manually holding the joint loop in place to determine the horse's comfort level. As holding the delivery loop on the horse's legs for the duration of the treatment may prove impractical, you may wish to strap it on. However, take caution when doing so, making sure that a quick release is possible. For limb treatments, rotate the delivery loop 90 degrees each cycle, or simply treat from different angles.